This episode of Diary of a Madman is brought to you by my upcoming horror anthology released on November 22nd, 2018, called 12 Deaths of Christmas. An upscale clothing store in the middle of New York City that offers its customers more than they bargained for. A town shelters against the first snow and the evil it brings. A mad king, a hired assassin, a world in the balance, and an eternal force manipulating all of them. These are just some of the wicked tales in 12 Deaths of Christmas, the ideal holiday gift for any horror fan. If you're a fan of Clive Barker's Books of Blood, 12 Deaths of Christmas will be that book that will scratch your Clive Barker itch. Pick it up on Amazon today.
So, why him? Why have I got this particular brand of arsehole in my sights? If you haven't worked that out by now, then you're a big part of the problem. If you see it and you just stand by and let it play out, well, that makes you as bad as him. This prick is quite happy to hand out a beating to his family. You, if you choose to be a passive bystander, you have as much fault, as much culpability as him. So why him? Why not, I ask? He's a piece of shit on the shoe of humanity, creating misery wherever he stumbles his hateful fucking arse. Surely offing him is for the greater good, right? Domestic abuse is everywhere and nobody gives a fuck. The moment it becomes apparent, the moment it spills out onto the street, you busy yourselves with something else, or even worse, you break out your phone and turn on the fucking camera, instead of intervening to protect the victim. Instead of trying to help your fellow citizen in their moment of need, your mind immediately goes on to how many new followers and likes you're going to get out of this public travesty. I know you aren't going to step up. You aren't going to do anything. At best, you're a coward. At worst, That's why I do this. That's why I step up to the plate, because you're nothing but a bunch of fucking cowards. Not then and there. No matter how much I wish I could. I have to wait. Your rules make waiting compulsory. Standing in line while you slowly rot away, and woe betide anyone who cuts in. Then we finally see your anger, your wrath. Heaven knows all you little maggots need a sharp shock to wake you up from your zombie state, your eyes glazed over to reality. In your ears, nothing but white noise drowning out the world around you. Society frowns upon vulgar displays of power in public, so I have to wait. I have to plan. There's a sin on every street corner, yet you choose to ignore it. You call yourself a humanitarian, but really, you're just weak, hiding behind that label so that you don't have to get your hands dirty. It's your bright, shiny badge that covers your cowardice. If a dog bites you, you have no second thoughts about having it put to sleep. But if it's another human being, you sit there spouting words like sentient as if they only applied to humans. Last I checked, a dog has ears, eyes and nose. In fact, their senses are far more adept at perceiving than our own. Surely that must mean they're more sentient than us. And arguably, does that even matter? Does it matter whose sentience is greater? Surely not. Surely it only matters that we aren't the only sentient beings and others have worth, yet you're extremely comfortable denying them that which you expect for yourself. It's okay. You don't have to answer. I don't need your piss-poor rebuttal. I know deep down you're thinking, sure, go ahead. The world will be a little bit brighter with that minute. I don't need you to say the words. I know you have to keep up that precious little pretense of yours. So, why him? Well, okay. Truth be told, the kid in the candy store with the oh-so-wonderful father figure is me. I can relate. My father was this prick. Used to beat the shit out of my mother, and then backhand me away when I tried to stop him. It's easy to spot an arsehole a country mile off when that's your starting point in life. The minute my father got bored, he left. I was 6. I thought that was the best day ever. Thought that everything would be like on TV, all smiles and picnics in the park from then on. It was no fucking picnic, I can assure you. But at least the beatings had stopped. Those fucking beatings. It took my mother forever to stop flinching and cowering at every loud noise. Probably something to do with the copious amounts of booze that numbed her brain over the years. Later I learned that he'd left for another woman, who also got treated like a punch bag, followed by a string of similar relationships all destined to end with an injunction, until he became a sad and pathetic loner that nobody cared for. Gramps used to tell me that he'd run that little bastard out of town. Gramps was old school. "Take no shit off any fucker," he used to tell me. Last I saw Gramps, he was holding back the tears at his daughter's funeral. Same as me. 3 months later, it was his coffin we were lowering into the ground. The death of his daughter was too much for him. He'd locked himself up in a bottle and then put a bullet in his head. The pain doesn't stop when the beatdowns do. That shit lives on forever, torturing you every fucking day. A downward spiral of self-doubt, depression, drink, drugs, death. And yet, you all look on, do nothing, justify your inaction with some piss-poor soundbite about how it's none of your business, or how they will leave their abusive relationship and start afresh to live happily ever after. Tell me, are you living your happily ever after? Do you know anyone that is, that honestly is? Looking back, that's when I decided he was going to pay. He would pay for destroying her life, for taking Gramps. I didn't know it at the time, but that was when the seed was planted. Fed on hate, it didn't take long to become a solid tree, on which many souls would hang.
The music in this episode was provided by the wonderful Raul Vega of Rose Drive Podcast. If you have not checked that show out yet, please do. If you're a fan of this, you'll love Rose Drive. The writer of Season 2 of Diary of a Madman is Dohai. You can find him on Twitter at Dohai666. The Madman is played by Kareem Cronfley. You can find him also on Twitter at Bullshot UK. Please support both of these wonderful people who helped bring such a wicked season to you. If you're enjoying The Madman, help me make more of it. Become a patron today over at patreon.com/Paul Sading. You not only get exclusive access to this show, you also get Subject Found, Who Killed Julie, short stories each and every month, even during the off seasons, and exclusive access to books, short stories, nonfiction work, audiobooks, all of which I have coming up in all sorts of genres, from horror to thriller and suspense to fantasy. Support the show today on Patreon and ensure that we can make a third season. Also, ratings and reviews on wherever you pick this show up would be greatly appreciated. If you love this show, I need to hear from you. Show the world why it needs more Madman by rating and reviewing the show today. Thank you to every single one of you who downloads and listens and tells others about it. Until you hear from me again, stay wicked.